to make this video because there were immigrants apparently talking about black people in America being lazy. I don't know why we have a reputation for being lazy. Me, as someone who is not that lazy, I would not describe black people in America as lazy. Just working in probably about 20 states in the US and working with black people, no, I don't see black people as lazy. I think there are some black people that are lazy, but I also think that there are some white people that are lazy. And I think on average, oftentimes the white people will be more lazier than the black people, but they will use uh, social understanding to move above black people. And sometimes people just don't want black people in charge, so sometimes the white person comes in charge. This is the whole understanding of the oppression in America. And sorry, I'm wearing my little thing like this because I'm trying to get a job as a English tutor for children, so I figured that would kind of be a fun thing to wear. But you know, black people do not have it that well in the US. I mean, I'm starting to see things for what they are, and as much as they try to say, "Oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps," no, it doesn't really work like that. You first off have to have some kind of head start, like a lot of these other people mentally, and to understand the business ins and outs of a lot of these people of other cultures in which reside in America and rule over the whole business and entrepreneurship aspect. You have to come down to their level. And, it's an ugly thing when you see a black person that comes down to that level. They start acting like Pharaoh. It's pretty bad. I've seen it in Atlanta quite a bit. And while they think it's black excellence, it's really it's a sad thing. But anyway, I'm making this video because I'm in Tanzania right now. And Dar es Salaam was cool. I think the people there are really kind, many of them, and a natural kindness, a natural understanding of how you're supposed to treat human beings. But we also have to understand that there are many tribes in Africa, and not all tribes come from the same place. Some are Semitic tribes, some are Hamitic tribes. If you have any knowledge of the Bible, you will know that the offspring of Ham, there's a group specifically named Canaan who were actually cursed. And, other Hamitic tribes are the Egyptians, the Cushites, and these kinds of things. But we also have Semitic groups. So I learned last night, actually, the Yoruba, they come from the land of Ibira, which comes from Eber, which is the grandfather of Abraham. This is where you get the word Hebrew from. So these people are actually Hebrews. So that's a different tribe. That's a Shemitic tribe, not the same as the Hamitic tribes. So I was in Moshi the last past week, and I wish I didn't spend so much time there, honestly. I feel like the trip could have been short in like 3 days. Like, sometimes I go to places and I'm like, man, I wish my trip can be longer. It really wasn't the same for this place. While Moshi is a very pretty place, it's like right outside of Mount Kilimanjaro. There's a lot of jungle and a lot of beauty around. The people there, it's just given Slytherin. They don't have a lot of understanding of the sanctity of life, is what it seems like. And I don't want to say it's all of them, but many of them do not understand. What I am struggling with at this point is, the lack of business skills, the lack of consideration for other people, you know, just ungratefulness. There was a lot of ungratefulness that I experienced in Moshi. Now, a lot of people, they see Westerners come in and they're like, you're an ATM. It's true. And the fact of the matter is, many of us are traveling and we are traveling on a budget. So we are not ATMs. We are actually people with souls and spirits, and we have budgets. And so, one of the things that they do in foreign countries is they will charge more for the Westerners than they will for the locals. Now, this isn't something that happens, in America, of course, because even if a foreigner were to come over to America, they would, and I don't say this is the case all the time, but say we get the same job, well, we're both going to be making $15 an hour, right? So we're going to pay the same for everything. Well, here, people don't necessarily make $15 an hour. So what they're thinking is, okay, you're coming over from America, you're making $15 an hour, you can afford to pay 4 times as much for this apple than somebody's a local. I I mean, I understand on some kind of level it's kind of fair, it's kind of not fair. Um, but at the same time they will try to dupe you. And so you know, if they say, okay, $2 for this apple, then you say 50 cents basically. So you have to bring them down, you have to negotiate with them. It gets tiring after a while. Sometimes you just don't want to go out and talk to anybody because you're just like, I'd rather just go to the market where the price is just mentioned here type deal. So, people get angry when you don't want to pay 4 times as much. They get angry. And then even if you were to pay 4 times as much, they'll be like, okay, well, you pay 6 times as much, and you pay 6 times as much, and they still aren't satisfied. It never feels like they're grateful for anything. And so there's a scripture in the Bible that says the leech has one phrase, and it's like, give me, give me, give me. And so this is the kind of mentality that was really going on there, and not just there, it's in other parts of the world. But what was really getting to me is like, me personally, I want right thinking and I want right ruling. I don't want to judge. I don't want to prejudge people, and I don't want to judge wrongly. I want to look at things for what they are and compare them to the Word and the Spirit of God. And so, one of the things in which I noticed a lot in Moshi was just laziness. I don't understand. I generally don't understand. I tried to help a few people with their businesses. I gave one guy a whole list of things to do. He did one thing, didn't do the rest of them. I'm still waiting on him to get back to me with certain things. He keeps messaging me for some reason. I'm like, why are you messaging me and not sending me what I asked you? Now, I came to his shop and he was sitting down and watching a movie. One of the things I told him to do was organize his shop. He organized like 1/8 of it. But you could tell the difference when you walked in. Now, my thing is like, you want business. You want to appeal to Westerners, I'm assuming, because many of the Westerners, those are going to be the ones that are going to bring you money. But when I walk into your shop, who are you actually trying to appeal to? Because you have to understand, Westerners, they get to see things like the Museo del Prado. So when we walk into your shop, we want to see like something that's well organized and something that's worth buying. Now, you can get away with certain things because, he's selling the art of children. And, I think that these people do need help, and many people will help them, especially if they are like trying to sell the art of children to help them. It's a nonprofit of sorts. I don't think it's registered or anything like that. I don't even know if it has to be, but it's there to help children, homeless children or runaways return home. So it is a good business, but at the same time, there are standards that are going to help you sell your product and get people coming here so that you can make some income to continue helping the children and your own families and yourself and that kind of thing. So he still has yet to do these things, and I gave him these things about 4 days ago. I'm expecting like something, maybe 2 things checked off the list. He's watching a movie when I walk in. I'm like, you're watching a movie and you could be organizing this shop. Then you go out on the streets. These people sit at their shops from 7 o'clock in the morning to like 2 o'clock in the morning, apparently. That's what he said. But all you do is sit around your shop. There are things that could be done. I don't really understand. If I had a shop and all the resources that these Tanzanians have right in their backyard, I would be putting in work, okay? So people want to sit around and they want to call black people in America lazy. The fact of the matter is, we don't have the resources that many of these Africans actually have right in their backyards. But something one guy had said, he was a business dude, an engineer. He was like, yeah, it seems like the tree cutters are where no trees are, and the trees are where no tree cutters are. And I was like, well, that probably rings true. I don't know why people are sitting back watching these things slip through their hands. It don't really make sense. Oh, okay, well, because the tree cutters aren't here. They got all the trees in Tanzania, but they ain't got nobody to cut the trees. It seems like all the people that cut the trees are from the foreign countries or they're from other parts of Africa. I have to explore more. I haven't seen all of Africa. So I don't want to just judge the whole of Africa by a few cities that I've seen in Tanzania. But I'm like, you got banana leaves. You could be doing what they do in the Caribbean, where they take the banana leaves, they put the fish or whatever in it, which I don't know if this will work because I think their ground is just naturally hot. But maybe they put coals in the ground and they cook the fish that way, wrapping it in the banana leaves. And that's a whole experience right there. You got beads, people that are profound bead workers that could be teaching classes on beads. You got, you can actually make paper out of the banana leaves. You can teach people how to do that and then make art out of it. You know, I've stayed at multiple hostels. There was one hostel that I stayed at in Dar es Salaam. Decent hostel. Decent hostel. My thing is, it's $12.50 a night, which is more than some of the hostels that I've stayed at in foreign countries. But the problem is, people want to charge $12.50 a night. Your pool is dirty. Your rooms are unclean. You know, you're not given the breakfast that they're given over in these foreign countries, that's for sure. You know, they'll give you some eggs and some cheap jelly and some cheap bread. And oh, this is breakfast. That's not breakfast. They have better breakfast in hotels. So, when I was in Mexico City, I stayed at a Selena. Now, Mexico City, first off, beautiful city. What is the point of visiting New York when you can take a flight to Mexico City for $200 round trip? Things are cheaper. They got beautiful museums, all free, beautiful zoo. I think the zoo was free as well on like Sunday or something. Like amazing city. I'm paying $12.50 to stay in a Selena hostel, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen Selenas, but they are phenomenal. I've stayed in about four of them so far in different parts of the world, and some of them have pools. Like the architecture is great, the interior design is great. $12.50. These people come out, they got the whole gamut laid out on the table for breakfast, okay? Four different types of fruits, okay? Fruit juice, granola, yogurt, the whole gamut. It is not the same in Tanzania, at least. I know that the American dollar goes further in Tanzania than it does in Mexico City. Yet these people want to charge $8 for something that's not even worth it. Like, it's not worth it. And then they sit around all day not doing anything. Your hostel is dirty. There's rips in all your couches. These things could be being cleaned right now, or they can be sewn. What are you doing? And at this hostel specifically in Dar es Salaam, this is the thing. Even I've even seen this kind of spirit with black people in America where they think that they have made it and so they just stop. And that is not appropriate. That is not the appropriate attitude to have. You don't just think you make it and then stop. You have to keep working. You do to upkeep things. I don't think people understand the concept of upkeep. A house at some point is going to get dirty. It does not matter how least you use it, dust will start to collect, whatever the deal is. So you have to clean the house like once a week, even if you're not there, not doing anything. Airbnbs, I've cleaned for Airbnbs. No one can stay in that Airbnb for a week, but dust will collect and I still have to come and clean it. And so, you know, these people are sitting pretty with their beautiful garments, like thinking that they don't have to do anything at this hostel in Dar es Salaam. And it's just, my bathroom's still dirty from 2 days ago. You know, there's no toilet paper anymore. Nobody came to check, even though they have several housekeepers there. The pool is dirty. You said there was a pool. If there's a pool, I expect the pool to be clean when I get there. Now I know that sounds like it's a lot for $12.50, but you also have to understand we're staying in dormitories. So you're staying with like five other people in the dormitory. Think about it. Five people, $12 each person, you know. We're coming out to around, you know, what, 65 if it's 12.50. So that's in one room. But if you have like 10 other rooms, you're making a pretty penny, okay? And then you also have privates and these kinds of things. This is why you hire a couple house cleaners to keep the place clean. But the house cleaners want to sit there and they're bent over the counter, not doing anything on their phones. I'm like, can you clean my bathroom? It's just the lack of responsibility and the lack of understanding of hospitality is just, it's riveting. And I really do think it's because either no one has taught them or they really are just lazy. If I'm seeing you sit outside of your shop and you're like, I don't know why no business is coming to me, well, do some footwork. I told the guy, make some flyers. Make some flyers. Like, they don't have to be expensive. You can literally print the same thing on one sheet of paper and cut it out. There'll be six of them or like eight of them or whatever. Cut it out and hand it to people. Go to the people in the hostels. Say, oh, I'm having an art and wine night, on Friday. Please join us. And here's the other thing. They will have art and wine night maybe once or twice a year or something like that. They will charge $50. Why would I pay $50 for art and wine night in Tanzania, where you guys are going to be completely lifeless? Because I took a tour to a waterfall in Monteruni Village, and yeah, we paid like $30 altogether for it. I think it was more like 20. And usually these tours are more than that. They're usually like 50 to 100. I mean, ridiculous. But the tour guides are so boring and lame. They don't do anything. They just walk you there and then walk you back, and that's it. And the reason I'm saying this is because I compare them to the other tours that I've taken in other countries. Going to Mexico City and to Oaxaca, I took a tour. I think that tour was like $15. You get a nice van. The tour guide is informative. He's inquiring. You're inquiring of him. He has answers for things that you're asking. I ask these guys something. Oh, I don't know. And they keep walking. They don't care. You are an ATM to them. They're only living for today. In fact, one of them said that. I'm like, when you have that mentality, you're not going to do anything for tomorrow then. Tomorrow's going to come. You're going to do the same thing. And then what happens? People get on Booking.com or TripAdvisor and they're like, this is lame. Go to another place. There's no mentality concerning that. Continuing with, now I feel like I have to talk about the Mexican tour. We went to this place where they taught us how they make agave, like whatever the liquor. I don't know the liquor that's made from agave, but it's like tequila. And how they smoke them, and they gave us a sample of the smoked agave. Like, we went to this place, the salt ruins, beautiful like salt ponds and that kind of thing. We went to see how they make yarn and how they dye it and everything. $15 for this tour. Actually, I think it was 19, but still, it was like completely and utterly worth it. Like an unforgettable tour. That's why I'm talking about it. And it lasted from, morning until the evening. It is not the same here. And then they get entitled. They're like, well, you have this and you should be paying us this. And they never say thank you for anything. You sit around all day doing nothing. When you do get something, you're not even grateful for what you get. Now, this specific tribe is the Chaga tribe. And I felt this. This is the Slytherin spirit. After I left that place, my head hurt. I was drained of energy. Because they don't want to do right by people. They don't want to do right. So I don't want to hear nothing about like African Americans being lazy. I've never seen a more lazy group of people than a lot of these people in Tanzania. I don't want to file them all under the same umbrella because it's not true that they're all like that. But from my experience the past 2 weeks, many of them are like this. And like I said, people get entitled and they don't want to do nothing. Oh, I've made it. I don't have to do nothing. No, that's not how it works, man. You need to continue to upkeep your business, okay? Otherwise, people from other countries are going to come in. They're going to show you how to do business, and they're going to usurp your business from you. And then you're going to be super upset. Oh, these colonizers came in and they did this. Look, my suggestion is y'all get with some African Americans, because first off, African Americans, you can make a decent amount of money. Bring a good, even a good 20,000 over here. And you can have a house built for you for $6,000. And the rest of the money, you can use to get your visa and your citizenship. and you can work. You can get a work visa. I think they call it a work from abroad visa, and you can actually work from abroad, uh, get an American job, and you can be making $10 to $15 an hour. Even if you want to tutor, you can make about $15 to $30 an hour teaching English. Uh, Perhaps start your own business here, help the locals and that kind of thing as well. And I think they really do need it. I actually met this fantastic designer yesterday. Look, I wasn't expecting much because I'm like, y'all don't even care out here. But she made a skirt. She made a nice linen skirt for me, and I really love this skirt. But the thing is, she doesn't have a lot of exposure because people don't teach them these things. They don't teach them business skills. They don't teach them how to use social media for marketing. I don't even know if they're thinking about it. And then again, when I make suggestions of what to do, they don't do it. And so instead, they sit in their shops all day for 16 hours a day waiting for people to come by when they could be on social media and finding people, that will come by. So, African Americans, there is an opportunity here. I'm not saying run the people out, I'm saying work with the people. A lot of people come over and they do these fair trade things where they will have the locals make certain things. If I had more money than what I do, I would employ this girl that makes these skirts. Okay, I would employ her. I would provide her some fabric. I'd be like, hey girl, we gonna make something that's going to appeal to the Westerners. And we can still do things that appeal to the locals, that it's affordable, but we'll make a little something that will appeal to the Westerners. And they will come pay, $30 for a skirt, made very well, something that's unique and artistic. But what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to start doing some footwork, putting this stuff on social media, maybe change up the layout of your shop a little bit that makes it more aesthetically pleasing for these Westerners. You get a portion, I get a portion type deal. I wouldn't personally take much. I would take, maybe 20% or something like that. But these are things that black Americans could be doing. They could be going to these places and honing in on this opportunity. And believe me, everyone will win because these locals will be making more money than what they usually do. And then you also will be making money off of this as well. And the fact that, I do believe that we're related in some kind of way. I'm not a Hamitic tribe, I'm a Shemitic tribe. But some of these people are Shemites. And so you have the opportunity to help them. Anyway, I think that we have a lot to offer because we were scattered into this land of captivity. We have understandings that these people don't have. And so, come on, black folk. We already know it's not working there in America. Everything that you try to build there, they tear it down. We saw what happened in Tulsa. So, you guys be blessed and have a good one. Bye.